So this is really, really interesting to watch because the devs are changing Sigma quite a bit, guys. So I had a bit of an issue with this hero. I was umming and ahhing as to his effectiveness. Is he a main tank? Is he a flex tank? Is he actually worth taking over an Orisa and a Hog, or even an Orisa and a Reinhardt, or a Reinhardt and a Zarya? Or, like, all these things are going through my head. Is he a main tank? And I still don't actually know. But that was based off the old Sigma on the PTR. This is a new Sigma. Not radically new, but there are changes to his abilities that make his sort of flow, his gameplay flow, better. Now, check this out. So, Kinetic Grasp, the old one, when you use this, that was it. You could not cancel that. It was just on until the duration. This was kind of okay, but it also meant that if you wanted to use things like Accretion, which is the big rock you throw to stun people, you couldn't do it. But now, Kinetic Grasp is cancelled by Accretion. So if I go to use Kinetic Grasp and then think, oh, I want to throw my rock, I can do it. Now that is a little change on the face of it, but actually, I think that's actually really huge because that means now you've got more options. So yes, you can bait people in with Accretion, with Kinetic Grasp, and then hit them with Accretion because you can be like, oh no, I'm taking damage. Oh no, oh no. Oh, wait a minute, rock. Now, there's still a delay there. There's still time for people to react, and that's what Sigma's all about. He's got a lot of tells, a lot of... Well, yeah, they're just tells. They show the enemy what you're doing. Okay, so that's the first change to Kinetic Grasp. Experimental Barrier can now be recalled while Kinetic Grasp or Accretion are in use. And again, this goes back to making his flow better, making him more engaging to play, possibly making him more of a main tank. Okay, so let's check this out. So before, we could drop the barrier. It was cool, it was fine, it was great. But when we did this, we could not recall the barrier because Kinetic Grasp just prevented you using any other abilities, but now it doesn't. So what we can do now is we can use Kinetic Grasp and pull the barrier back at the same time. Now, this has a lot of implications in the game. I mean, you guys can probably tell I've been playing a lot of Sigma. I'm trying to put together bits and pieces for a Sigma guide, and it's kind of annoying that Blizzard have changed this because and also, like, I wanted to make a video saying, hey, Sigma needs these changes, but Blizzard are doing it anyway, so that's super cool. So, the barrier is deployed, and if I want to bring that back in while I'm using, you know, maybe my barrier is over there, and I'm getting attacked from behind, right? I can do this, but then I can recall my barrier, and then deploy my barrier in front. Now, I can't deploy the barrier while I'm using Accretion. It's not Accretion, it's Kinetic. Apologies for that, guys. I keep calling it Accretion. It's not. It's Kinetic. But what I can do now as well is if I've got the barrier deployed, okay, so it's there, I can throw that, but also recall the barrier. Now, a lot of play with Sigma is on barrier. You're dancing with the barrier, the beat of the barrier. So your barrier's out, it's protecting damage like this. A lot of, I guess, new Sigma players do this, and they just leave the barrier out. That, I don't think, is the way you should be playing this hero. It's almost like you're pulsing the barrier out, right? You're pulsing it out, maybe then you do this, right? Bit of Accretion, throw the barrier back out. And, of course, this is more effective now because it's not Accretion style, it's Kinetic Grasp. You can use Kinetic Grasp and weave it in with the barrier, and I think that's what this hero is all about. Look at the health of the barrier. It's at 1100. Well, now I can drop it. I can do this. I can redeploy the barrier. The barrier takes a bit more. Okay, whatever, cool. Okay, that's not the right way to do it because I should drop the barrier. Now I should be using... You notice my barrier's recovering in health. This is when I'm using Kinetic Grasp. So let's just run through this because, honestly, I think this is the way this hero is played. So, you throw the barrier out like this. Okay, barrier's taking damage. Barrier's taking damage. I'm going to drop the barrier. Now I'm going to use this, and I'm going to eat up as much as I can. My barrier is recharged, and I can throw my barrier back out again. It's this pulsing motion with the barrier, and I think the devs know this. So when they're like, actually, okay, you can still activate your barrier while you're using your abilities, or well, deactivate the barrier. You can't place it while you're using the abilities, but you can deactivate it. Allows you to set up for better plays, and that, guys, is a massive change, honestly. That is super good. There's also some general changes, which I guess we can just go over very quickly. So, placement preview should now be much smoother for Reaper, Shadow Step, May Ice Wall, and all of that. We'll check that out, and we'll see if that... let's get... I guess let's get May, because it's more visual. So this is now smoother. Hey, it does feel smoother, actually, up that ramp. That feels much better, actually. So that could be actually a really huge change. And I guess let's just grab Reaper, just to have a blast. And this should be easier to place. Yeah, this does feel easier to place. It's still a little bit of delay there. See, I'm kind of looking at that there. Obviously, I want to teleport up there and I have to sort of... Yeah, it's okay on Reaper. We've got fix the bug where first-person animation sometimes wouldn't play when abilities were being immediately frozen. Yeah, okay. Fix the bug where... Okay, these are boring. We're not going to go over these. Workshop set max health now functions as intended. Okay, cool. Reinhardt has been changed, so let's take a look at this. So this isn't really anything drastic, but the fix the bug that could cause charge knockback to be applied multiple times. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. Also, the latency is 300 on this. Wow, I never actually noticed that. I thought it was a little bit laggy, but yeah, there we go. This is because on PTR, sometimes it will just connect you to like Asian servers or NA servers. I mean, this is probably an Asian server with 300 ping. Okay, so Sigma also has got a bunch of other fixes. Now, some of these are kind of significant, so it is worth going over. Accretion now correctly deals half damage to self. There is also a little bit of movement you can do with Accretion, but I don't think it's necessarily too viable, but you can sort of get almost like a bit of a super jump. I'll see if I can do it. So, yeah, you see that? You can kind of move with Accretion. It's funky. Accretion projectile no longer gets destroyed when impacting Symmetra turrets, okay. Gravitic Flux can now move Farah during Rocket Barrage. I didn't know that was a bug, but cool. Fix the bug where victims of Gravitic Flux could get stuck on slippery rooftops. Fix the bug where Gravitic Flux would fail to work on dropship doors. Fix the bug that allowed Sigma to avoid enemy Gravitic Flux effect by activating his ultimate. Fix the bug that allowed Sigma to retain some of his movement ability when he was incapacitated. And also fix the bug that caused Gravitic Flux to not be cancelled if you switch to another hero while it's active. Okay, cool. Sombra gets a little change, but again, this is not too much, but hey, let's just swap to Sombra. It is fix the bug where Sombra couldn't gain ultimate charge for 1 second after EMP hack auras end on targets. Yeah. Wrecking Ball, fix the bug that could cause Wrecking Ball to be temporarily stuck while using Pile Driver on slippy terrain. So there you go. I wanted to make this video because the changes to Sigma, hopefully I've explained them quite well, because I think they're actually quite good for Sigma and will make him more viable, because he's really struggling right now on PTR. And even on PTR, right? This isn't live, it's still PTR. Yes, it's structure, it's got roll queue and all that stuff, but he still is in this weird place. He's sort of middle ground between main tank and off tank. Guys, I've been Stylosa, this Unit Lost. If you guys enjoyed the video, then let me know what you think about it in the comments below. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @Stylosa, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.